Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, guys, the new scientist, Gaia spacecraft prepares to weather an incoming meteorite storm. The 3rd of October, they're preparing for this storm to come in during this month. What's interesting is what's happening in Syria at the moment. And it seems that, at least where Ezekiel is concerned, and the mention of Gog and Magog, and that these tribes which reference Turkey and Iran as Persia, and then Russia, and then their allies who've been referred to as Gog and Magog. What's interesting is in this particular passage there's a mention about fire and brimstone, and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him an overwhelming rain of great hailstones, fire and brimstone will fall from the sky. And this would be touted as the judgment of God upon Gog and Magog for attacking his chosen people, the Israelites. Like I said, it seems to me that all of this is manufactured. And what's interesting is not so long, well, maybe about, there you go, in 2017 March, I actually archived a vlog on man-made meteorites. I certainly recommend that you guys watch this. But it seems like they're going to stage, maybe perhaps this could possibly be a staged event during this time when this war breaks out, which is a manufactured one. It's just a Hegelian dialectic playing out with controlled opposition on both sides of the conflict. Again, the synthesis, as I've always mentioned, is going to be the Great Israeli Project. So there will be casualties on both sides, but in conclusion, what they seek to do is have Israel will have the upper hand when it's seen that God, a divine hand, has intervened, which is going to be a false manipulated perception through using technology to create or induce seismic activity, extreme weather. And then if you guys watch this vlog, I'll leave a link to it, you'll see exactly how they can manufacture a meteorite storm now as well, right? So all of this will seemingly, it's just a huge illusion, right? And you'll see that on the Economist cover. Actually, let's look at it. Number 20, Economist cover 2017. Economist cover 2017. You see that from that, interesting enough, what we have there, Economist cover 2017, is the magician, right? And what you've got essentially is houses, homes on a conveyor belt going into a 3D simulation, right? So this is what I understand is the false reality that's going to be created. And interesting enough, you've also got the reference of the as above, so below, the infinity symbolism, and then the sun. And you've got this virtual reality, which I believe is going to be the great illusionist. And it's that sort of an illusion that they're creating, where we're led to believe that what's actually happening is in fact a real event. I don't think that these asteroids will be real ones, but actually ones that have been artificially manufactured. And it's in the vlog, so please guys watch it. But again, like I said, 3rd of October, now they're talking about this incoming asteroid event, meteorite event, a storm event, and they're concerned about the satellites being damaged above our Earth's atmosphere during this time. It's interesting just the timing, there seems to be some sort of a synchronicity between the timing of what's happening in Syria, the storm coming in, and for a change, all of a sudden, this storm, which has been, which apparently is an annual event, is touted to actually breach Earth's atmosphere this time around, which is very interesting. During this month, during this whilst everything's happening in Syria, and all these biblical references seem to be coming to the fore. Again, it's all from start to finish. It seems to be completely manufactured, but unfortunately, most of the masses won't see this, and they will. And this is the idea, I guess. The What they're trying to do is seduce the masses into believing that the 7 years of tribulation have begun, so that they can then lead them to the false antichrist, who will come following that. So in between that, they're going to have a imposter, which the world will come to learn, at least the Christian faithful will come to believe is the Antichrist, when in fact he's not. And I believe that imposter is going to be Prince William, and Prince Harry. It seems to be groomed to maybe head the military arm of the United Nations, and that's why the whole farce with his marriage with Meghan Markle and winning over a huge swath and demographic, and just tugging at the heartstrings of people in the States and Canada, because they'll need this demographic on board to buy into this false narrative that they're trying to create. And it's just another controlled dialectic, and they'll seek to coerce humanity, and then they will stage what I understand to be the false appearance of the Antichrist, who will claim to be a sentient extraterrestrial being, and this is whom most of the Christian faithful will be lulled into believing is in fact Christ. Now, the Islamic position is that he will have what we understand, well, at least we've been told, is Kaf Ra written on his forehead, a symbol. We, at least from our research, believe that that symbol is in fact the Eye of Ra, as is the symbolism used in ancient Egyptian script, and on the hieroglyphs, and I guess everywhere else that we see it, the symbolism, the one eye symbolism, which is interesting because on the iPad God you also see the Eye of Providence on the forehead of this Antichrist type figure, but also what those of, I guess, the Christian faithful who tune into this channel as well, just for their benefit, the tradition, the Islamic tradition, and when I say tradition, I mean the narrations documented from our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is that Dajjal, the Antichrist, will be one-eyed, and it references one eye being like a bulging grape, and the other eye being green, I think, as in just a normal eye. So one seems to be, there seems to be some sort of a defect in one eye, right? And interesting enough, what you'll find is in the movie The Passion, they actually show a Christ-like figure with one eye from the, I guess, the torture, uh, uh, being bruised and bulged up. It seems that they're already psychologically conditioning the masses to accept the Antichrist figure as well, Jesus actually, to have a defected eye, which is interesting enough was in the narrations 1500 years ago or 1440 years ago by our beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and we just see that being almost duplicated in Hollywood movies and in other places, and then you've got the one eye symbolism. So at least I would urge caution to my Christian brothers and sisters in humanity to be very wary of that, because I understand, I mean, just as we understand, and the Islamic position is that Jesus was lifted, Nabi Isa was lifted to the heavens. So, I mean, the return of the Antichrist would have to, I guess, mirror from whence he went, for him to return from the same way, in the same way, and which would be from the heavens. This is where I believe it's going to be that false extraterrestrial contact, and then it's going to lend into the Pleiades and the Sirius star system, and a Hegelian dialectic being played out between them and then the Anunnaki as well, right? So you've got the Pleiades and the Anunnaki, and it's just one dialectic after the other being rolled out, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Anyway, Jazakallah khairan wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.